What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and this Gene Hackman thing keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. Of course, we have the 911 call now, but more interesting is an interview with local investigators and more information as to what exactly happened in those final moments. Because, as we all know, yesterday when the news initially broke, including myself, most people thought, hey, this is a carbon monoxide thing. Tragedy sucks. Hey, here's a link to the carbon monoxide detector I use. Hey, that was based on the information that was out. I now believe I was wrong. I believe that there is something far more sinister going on here. I think based on the fact that Gene was found in the mudroom, right outside the front door, right inside the front door, dressed to go outside, the fact that they were there for several weeks before anyone noticed, the fact that his wife was not in bed but was in a bathroom holding a pill bottle, the fact that they, and perhaps the most infuriating part, it appears that they took the life of their own German Shepherd dog, a dog that I would have happily taken custody of and let him enjoy playing with three other German Shepherds, as opposed to them literally destroying their own dog. This whole thing just keeps spiraling out of control. Let's get into all the latest. By the way, huge shout out to Meta PCs. They are the computer I use, the computer I recommend to my friends and family. Promo code The Quartering to save. Right now is the time to upgrade to the latest NVIDIA cards. They are in stock and ready to go. Financing for all credit types. Ready to ship PCs in stock. Shipping next business day. Again, promo code The Quartering. You can custom build. You can get the ready ships, laptops, all sorts of stuff. Veteran-owned company. Absolutely love it. It's a computer, like my computer right here is a computer I'm on right now. So I definitely trust them. And I've used them on PCs for years now. Let's get to the 911 call. Reveals barking, cursing. I'm not going to play it. I think that's a little too morbid because, it makes me think like, boy, if I ever have to call 911, I better compose myself because it's going to end up on the internet. But it says a worker sobbed and cursed as dogs barked in the background when he discovered the mummified remains of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy. The man identified himself as the caretaker, told 911 on Wednesday after he found them in their home. I think we just found a deceased person in the house, he continued. The dogs were barking in the background. The man was unable to tell the dispatcher the age of the residents of the home, but said they were a female and a male, probably. That gives you kind of an idea of just how decomposed they were. First of all, if he's a caretaker, he probably knows what they look like. I would assume, right? The fact that he can't recognize them, I guess maybe they're face down, maybe they're, I'm not trying to say anything bad about this dude that was just, calling 911 on probably a day he will never forget. I don't know, just send somebody quick. The house is closed, it's locked, I can't go in, but I see she's lying on the floor. Now, she was in the bathroom, so what window was he looking in there? When asked if they appear to be awake, the man responds repeatedly saying, no, they're not moving, just send somebody up here. Hackman and his wife were believed to have been passed away for up to 2 weeks and were found partially mummified. The skin and tissue of their bodies have been preserved, likely to the cool, dry winter climate that Santa Fe enjoys. But the 911 call contradicts the search warrant affidavit, which states a maintenance worker reported the home's front door was open when he arrived to do routine work. Pretty interesting. Now, again, people get things mixed up, when they're panicking or, weird stuff like that. I get it. By the way, their German Shepherd was found in a bathroom closet. So they poisoned that dog and locked it in a closet because they couldn't bear to see it die at their own hands. That's what it looks like to me. There was no indication of a struggle, no indication anything was missing from the home or disturbed. Cops arriving at the home deemed it very suspicious, enough to warrant a thorough investigation, but later ruled that there was no indication of foul play with no wounds found on them at all. Results of the autopsies conducted on both bodies are not available yet, but sheriff's officials said, noting that carbon monoxide and toxicology results are pending. The 911 caller and another worker later told authorities that They rarely saw the homeowners, and the last contact had been about 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, his wife was in the bathroom. A prescription bottle of pills was open. Now, again, it could have been, for indigestion. We don't know. We don't know for 100% certainty. You'll have to see, 911 caller and another worker later told authorities that they really saw them. The contents were strewn across the bathroom floor. It's unclear what those meds were or who they've been prescribed for. We know the space heater was on the floor as well. Officials had refused to speculate further, but this whole thing just keeps getting weirder and weirder. The New Mexico gas company tested the gas lines in and around the home after the bodies were discovered, according to the warrant, and did not find a single sign of a carbon monoxide leak or carbon monoxide poisoning. A detective wrote that there were no obvious signs of a gas leak, but noted that people exposed to gas leaks or carbon monoxide don't always show this. Well, I mean, the gas company showed up and said there wasn't a gas leak, so I'm not sure what else you need. The search warrant affidavit suggests that police appear to have a working theory of some sort of gas poisoning happening, but they don't know yet. I mean, it's possible that there was some sort of gas poisoning that was instantaneous and just destroyed, and nobody in the house survived, and then immediately went away. It was a roaming cloud of toxic gas. I don't know. I mean, I don't buy that. And what's weird here is let's listen to investigators.
Mendoza, who's leading this investigation, along with Santa Fe's Fire Chief Brian Moya, whose team was the first to arrive at Hackman's home. Good morning to both of you. Sheriff, let me start with you. Do you have any more insight this morning on what may have led to these deaths?
Right now, we don't. Of course, we executed the search warrant yesterday, starting on the evening of the 26th, all into yesterday afternoon. And one of our investigators attended the autopsy yesterday. Yep. We don't have more information. We're trying to put things together, put together a time.
Now, again, I believe what happened is Gene passed away suddenly, and his wife and him had some sort of sick pact. Where she would quote unquote follow him. I don't know that answer. But why take the dog?
When the decedents were last seen or spoken to. Of course, we understand that is a challenge because they were very private individuals in a private family. So we're trying to put all that information together right now.
The officers did conclude that the two had been deceased for some time. Any sense of the timeline? I mean, are we talking days? Are we talking weeks?
Yeah, so it's very difficult to put a timeline together, even with the help of the Office of the Medical Investigator, just based on their body and other evidence on the body. It appears several days, possibly even up to a couple weeks.
A couple of weeks. Okay, we talked about that yesterday. Maybe more. Here's some other. Gene Hackman's wife kept him on a strict diet before the mysterious deaths. Pal said, well, he was 96, so I maybe she was just trying to keep the guy alive, no cause of death being revealed. The autopsy was done. I don't know. What if they're ever going to tell us? I'm going to guess that he passed away from natural causes and then she offed herself and their poor German Shepherd for some reason. The other possibility right now in my head is that that she poisoned everybody. I mean, or he did. I mean, it seems unlikely that he did because he wasn't where the he was not. He was clearly walking out the front door. I mean, I don't know. By the way, Gene Hackman and wife showed no signs of carbon monoxide. This has now been officially reported from an affidavit. I don't know what you think. I don't know. An extremely elderly person is living independently in a rural home and doing so because his spouse is in the role of being a full-time carer. Then if they give the carer spouse suddenly, the whole thing, he was healthy, did yoga several times a week. Not all 95-year-olds are helpless. Yeah, I mean, he's still 95, though. He's still 95. They say it's going to take several weeks for for the autopsy report to come out. I suspect it will come out much sooner because I would assume his family is going to start asking questions. Wouldn't you? Like if you were Gene Hackman's daughter at this point where you had gone from, yeah, it was probably carbon monoxide to the gas company saying, nope, wasn't carbon monoxide. And there were pills. Like I would be thinking that she did it to him. That's what I would be thinking. I'm not saying there's any evidence of that. What if you're the daughter of the woman, the wife? Aren't you wondering, well, what the heck? She was totally healthy. Forensics expert reveals a striking element.
Hey, good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me. I think probably what really grabs me from the beginning and has since this case began is the fact that we don't just have one, we have two deceased individuals.
Well, and their dog.
The canine in the house, which in all of my years of working in medical examiners' offices and coroners' offices, man, I got to tell you, the only time that I see multiple deaths like this is generally related to a trauma event or some type of toxin in the air or something that has been ingested that brought about the deaths. The dog, for me, is kind of an oddity. I'd like to know if the dog died as a result, for instance, of dehydration. I've heard one report the dog was caged up, but then you have the other two animals that are still alive. One, from my understanding, was adjacent to her body.
Right,
kind of
in the house
there,
too.
As guard over her body at that point in time. And why
Good boy.
was that front door open? I don't care if there's no signs of forced entry. The fact that it was opened is quite striking to me, Todd.
Is there anything you feel comfortable?
Well, to be fair, I leave my doors open too. You're welcome to come in. He had 3 German Shepherds. I have 3 German Shepherds. You're welcome to, you're not welcome, but anybody who decides to walk in my front door is not going to be happy. They're not going to get very far before 240 pounds of German Shepherd are engulfing that person. And that's probably how they felt too. But so now that the fact that the door was open, that seemed odd. There's contradicting stories on whether it was locked or whether it was open. Was it the care? Did somebody murder them? I mean, there's so many questions here. Hopefully we get some answers sooner than later. This is a very bizarre situation, and I'm going to keep reporting on it. So make sure you subscribe or follow down below to keep up to date, and we'll talk to you again real soon.